Hi, my name is Mariana Leal, and I am a Miami-Dade College West Campus student, and today I'll be presenting the effects of pesticides on the environment. So here are a few descriptions and uses of pesticides. Pesticides are chemicals commonly used to kill or control pests. They play an important role in protecting crops from insects, weeds, or other sources of significant crop damage. As such, they are routinely used among farmers to ensure the production of higher yields and better quality of whatever is being grown. Pesticides encompass a wide range of compounds that each have different targets. Some examples include insecticides, which target insects, herbicides for weeds, and fungicides to deal with any type of fungus or bacteria. The most common are herbicides, which account for 80% of all pesticide use. So there are a lot of chemicals that make up pesticides, but today we're going to talk about atrazine. So according to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, atrazine is one of the most widely used herbicides that is applied before and after planting to control broadleaf and grassy weeds. Because of its effectiveness, atrazine is used among crops such as corn and sugarcane. It could also be used to keep weeds from growing near highways and railroads. The chemical formula of atrazine is C8H14ClN5. Here are a few environmental effects of atrazine. So according to the United States Department of Agriculture, atrazine's half-life, or the time required for a quantity to be reduced to half its value, is normally 60 to 150 days in soil. However, atrazine begins to degrade much more slowly when it transfers from an aerobic environment to an anaerobic one. When it enters the water column, its half-life is increased to approximately 1 to 2 years because the movement of water away from the root zone results in decreasing levels of available oxygen, thus increasing the persistence of atrazine. This proves to have considerable ramifications to the environment because atrazine is more likely to be detected in groundwater or other poorly aerated surface waters, such as drinking wells. According to the Pesticide Action Network, atrazine is found in 94% of U.S. drinking water tested by the USDA. Higher levels of contaminations can be found in the Midwest, where the use of cornfields is extensive. Water contamination can lead to adverse effects in various wildlife. For example, male salmon that were exposed to atrazine were observed to have decreased sperm production and mating behavior. Reproductive impairments have also been observed in amphibians that came into contact with atrazine. So how do pesticides move in the environment? Pesticides often travel to water systems through the process of runoff occurs when precipitation that did not get absorbed into the soil or evaporated flows to lower elevations, or leaching, the removal of a substance from soil, usually by rainwater. Runoff water carrying pesticides may find their way to waterways, drainage systems, ponds, streams, and groundwater. According to the Kentucky Pesticide Safety Education Program, groundwater provides 70% of the water used for public and private water supplies and irrigation systems, making it extremely difficult to correct the problem should it become contaminated. As observed before, pesticide contamination can impact the health of a stream and inflict negative and sometimes lethal symptoms on wildlife, livestock, crops, and humans. Other possible sources of water contamination include improper storage of pesticides, careless disposal of containers, and excess pesticides, which may cause a spill, or maybe they can enter sinkholes, things like that, or improper handling and use of pesticides. Here are some controversies among pesticide use. So because of the larger yields of crops they produce, many pesticide producers and farmers have deemed pesticides as an agricultural necessity for crop survival. However, the EPA have expressed the issue of decreasing pesticide sensitivity among pests because they have developed resistance to them, lowering the effectiveness of pesticides. Pesticides resistance have resulted in more frequent spraying and increasing crop losses as pests continue to become increasingly resistant. So in this graph, we can see that the number of species resistant to pesticides, we have arthropods, plant pathogens, and weeds, and as the years increase, so do the number of resistant species. So we have this positive correlation where more use of pesticides results to more resistance. So possible solutions and relevancy. In order to decrease the level of dependency agricultural suppliers have on pesticides, Some have called for the adoption of agroecological farming as a reliable foundation for sustainable agriculture. Agroecological techniques for improving the resilience of farming systems include integrated crop and livestock systems, agroforestry, which means that trees are grown around or among crops to help protect and enhance the sustainability of crops, crop rotations and mixed cropping, polyculture, which is the growing a variety of plants of differing species in the same area, and ecological preservation and the health of animals and wildlife are topics of importance to me because I am planning to become a veterinarian, and environmental concerns have always interested me. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and that is all.